Much to our surprise, we're the largest number of startup companies that are sharing the same space anywhere in the world. It's about 600 startup companies in our facility in Cambridge, and a couple of weeks ago we signed a deal to do a similar facility in St. Louis, Missouri, and we have a couple in the works in Europe. When you can bring entrepreneurs, in this case, close together, they start to build relationships. If you go into our co-working spaces, these are those most efficient ones that I described. What's happening, the average company size is 1.1 people in that area. We have 400 1.1 person companies, and in a single 15,000 square foot floor, as an example. But what's going on with the work is that the projects are not one person projects. The projects are 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 person projects made up of loose affiliations of those folks. By being neighbors, by sharing the same resources, by having the kind of a platform, so they're not worrying about does the internet work, or can I have a chair, or is it secure, or or is there food to eat, or any of those sorts of things. They're putting their energies into figuring out new ways to collaborate. The second thing that's happening is when you build these sort of dense clusters, using these sharing techniques, you can get them denser. They start to give off a certain amount of heat and light that's seen from farther away. We call this a kind of a beacon effect. And that tends to draw in more resources that those folks need. One example is that 2 of the 3 big accounting firms have decided to set up their offices there. A more measurable one is to look at venture capital, which is a service to startups, right? They need capital, and they need multiple places to get it. We tallied up the venture capital under management that's headquartered in our facility in Cambridge, in either of the 2 buildings that we're in. And we were surprised to learn that if our 2 buildings were a U.S. state, we'd be the 4th largest state in the country now, with about $8.7 billion of venture capital under management from companies headquartered completely in our building, not like a representative office or something like that. This concentration effect that's made possible by better use of resources then leads to what we believe is a much more efficient sharing and collaboration environment. This is people sharing not only their space, but their time. This is a lawyer who may have an extra hour having lunch with an entrepreneur, not charging for that, and helping them figure out a problem that entrepreneur probably couldn't have solved on their own. The net effect, we believe, is that this is where probably all of us solve more of the world's problems than we will any other way.